Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm already excited because I see Arhan on Symmetra. Now, we saw this earlier today. Cloud9 were running it, of course. They had Symmetra and, of course, Torbjorn. Good old Mendo. But it works to great effect. Honestly, I'm a massive fan of this new Symmetra. It almost looks too strong when you see that giant shield coming towards you and just basically disrupting the opponent.
Yeah, so she's had a few changes. I'll quickly go through it. Now, obviously, her E is a photon barrier. It's not a shield you give your teammates. It's a shield that is shot forward and moves
it's like
with
a
your team.
Reinhardt shield thrown at you.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she can also carry 6 turrets at one time instead of only being able to carry a maximum of 3. And of course, her ultimate's changed a little bit now as well. She actually has a shield generator that gives people within range that shield that she used to give with ease. So 75 shields. Also, the teleporter, which is still an option. You have 2 ultimates now. That has 400 effective HP. It's 350 shield, 50 HP. So it regenerates. So you can't just like chip it down over time instead of the 200 pure HP that it used to be. Also, her primary fire, of course, is now the photon projector. It's now 7 meters instead of 5. So few updates, making it a pick here. We did see it, of course, in MLG. So let's see if we're going to see that from AF Blue. We definitely should, as he's ready to rock with it.
Yeah, Cloud9 used it to great effect and held that first point, but of course that was paired with Torbjorn. This time it's going to be paired with Recry on the Soldier 76. Now, we've already seen Lunatic high coming around the side, so now they're going to realize they get around the side, get themselves the 2 turrets down already, so they know they're up against the Symmetra, and they're just going on the hunt here. Eska absolutely picking them off. They, of course, using something different, managing to go in there. Toby switching across. Eska's going to push on forward. This is not working out well for Afreeca at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Lunatic High playing it slow, dealing with the turret infrastructure before they want to press any further forward, but Recry still has so much space to work, Lee, and this is where Soldier 76 is going to shine, but so far the kills have been good for Lunatic High. Adam, Mano, Amy all down, and Recry has to run away, and Eska's hot on these heels with a Bunny Blast.
Yeah, but Arhan's picking up the kills around the side. He is defending to his to great avail at the moment. He's picked up a quick double, picked off both supports, gets in there. Recry gets a quick triple, and just Recry and Arhan alone defending perfectly. Arhan proving just how strong Symmetra maybe can be. Of course, the gun will build up over time, and it can be deadly. Now you've got that 7 meter range. You can't run away from it like you can. Now, he's used the teleport instead, by the way, Arhan, instead of the shield generator.
The whole reason the shield generator exists is so there's something to do with Symmetra after first point now. So we probably will see it, obviously still see a TP on first, but Lunatic are going to press forward. They've got an nano boost here from Dean. Tajan wants a hook, doesn't connect it now, has to back away behind the shield, and Toby's already fallen here. They've got to back out.
Yeah, they've got to back away from that. So not going to work out from him. Zenyatta, not really the pocket pick that Toby was hoping for, but he will have Transcendence next time around. Arhan once again chasing through. Not really the player that you'd expect to see playing Symmetra, I've got to be honest, but the flex rolls that have come into Afreeca Freecs maybe throwing a new course of action for them.
To be fair, he was the Bastion player for AS Blue as well, so, you know, he'll play sort of anything and everything.
DPS player likes Bastion. It's like, yes, I have a minigun. This is great.
Right, so obviously our teleporter is up and ready to go. It's a lot harder to kill now. It takes some time. Still doable here, but for Lunatic High, they've got to bear that in mind now. Transcendence available for Toby now on the Zenyatta here, so they really fancy a lot of damage to press through here. Those Discord orbs need to be on point. There are still 3 tanks in their way now. We're going to see over the top does go. Rouge Hong went out, Graviton comes in.
Really early nano boost on Miro there. Before the Graviton Surge even came in, it was effectively useless. Gets around the side, Recry on the flank, gets Dean down, and that was a really, really strange ult choice. Clearly there must have been a call in the team. It's like, I'm going now. The nano boost came out, and Miro was just stood still.
Yeah, and this is not good as well because the Transcendence was used in that fight by Toby just to try and shrug off the damage coming in from the Graviton. Now he switches over towards the Lucio here. Just see if that pays off, but of course, Arhan just having a great time. This is Symmetra, a lot of room. Very easy to replenish all your turrets again after a fight in between. You can see he's already got 6 ones ready to go. It's going to be really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, it slows you down. It's just about everything it wants to. 1 minute to go here. Jaehyung going to get around the side. Eska's got himself self-destruct ready and waiting. Maybe that can be a distraction. Throw that in there. Ooh, Tajan taken very low up on the top ledge there. So damage coming through left and right, you can see. Already, they're being forced away. There's just 49 seconds to go. They're waiting for that final ult to come in there. Tajan did get picked off in the end by Dayfly. And this is just playing into the hands of Afreeca Freecs. If they can hold this first point, this will be magnificent for them.
This is such aggressive positioning from Recry there as well. Normally 76 players won't stand on that ledge. They'll back away to the cafe here. So he's feeling confident. You can see now he's going to move away and try and set up a little bit safer as Eska has taken that real estate away. He does have a self-destruct ready to go if he needs to use it. That's a big Earthshatter coming in and Graviton to follow it up. Afreeca Freecs have the sound barrier active.
Sound barrier comes down. There's Graviton. A good charge from Miro. Manages to catch Amy out. Dayfly going down, but Recry going to get forced away because he's just going to dash away away. He's getting chased down by Esker. Esker does manage to get enough damage onto him before he manages to pick up the health pack. Gets chased down to the Bunny Blaster, doesn't realize, doesn't care, because he comes back. Now Mano picks up a quick double, and this point is being held. There's 0.0 seconds on the board. It is going to be game over. Overtime already ticking. They're being forced away. Afreeca Freecs will hold Hollywood on point A. Holy moly, we have a game on our hands here.
There are a lot of reasons why we saw AFLU actually hold fairly comfortably there. Didn't seem like they were pressured to a great degree. Obviously, the fact that the teleporters there is going to help a heck of a lot. But Recry had so much freedom, so much space to work in. You could see so much so that he was actually playing on the forward ledge close to the archway and then sort of backing away. He had a lot of protection. Of course, there's symmetry there. Those turrets now, you need to do a full sweep for 6 turrets every single time you attack. You can't just go, well, hey, she hasn't had time. She probably has 3 turrets down. That actually does make a difference, because for tanks who are trying to access that point, they're going to take damage. They're going to be slowed down trying to do so. It's incredibly frustrating to try and push past that.
And we didn't really see the Photon Shield coming out at all.
Well, it's more appropriate for attackers to use it because they can advance under cover when there could be fire coming in.
I'm just referring to what we saw with Cloud9 earlier on today.
Right.
It was, I'm trying to think who was playing it for Cloud9, but it was just a non-stop wave of the shield being thrown out on
a bit more aggressive, I think, on the Spectre, not worrying so much about the,
just getting the
photon
faces.
barriers.
But that's a brilliant defense. That is amazing. Bearing in mind, Lunatic High managed to complete the map yesterday against Misfits and took the first point, I think in the second attack, maybe in the first attack, I'm not sure. Of course, that was against I think it may have been a triple tank. Don't think it was a quad tank. I think it was a triple tank defensive setup that Misfits used. But, well, Afreeca Freecs, they are turned to attack. Lunatic High preferring to go to the more default defensive setup. They have gone for the 3-2-1. So we'll see how it works. Sorry, a 4-1-1 effectively, I should say there. So the quad tank setup is almost standard, tried and tested, but does put a lot of pressure on Dean.
Yeah, it does. I mean, Anna has enough burst healing with a biotic grenade and generally a good, really good rate of fire with her normal sort of biotic darts that it's sufficient to heal up 4 tanks.
This is a guy that used to be a tank, so you know, moving into this new support role, this is a real pressure situation for him.
But I mean, don't forget, these guys all played FPS titles back in the past, so I mean, like, you know, stylistically, it's probably not that foreign for him to deal with. But AFLU going to have the Mei on the attack here. This is very interesting. You can use a wall to block off the high ground on the cafe to shut down a 76 or to force him to come forward.
But Arhan using the Reaper is perfect against these quad tanks. Get in there, get those big cannons working. Hasn't managed to pick up a kill this time. He's been taken very low. Dayfly also picked off. There's Esker getting the kill on Arhan. You saw him very low early on. They're not going to get anything this time around.
Yeah, forced right on back here, of course. AFLU's complete team comp implies that they want to get up in your face and fight like that. Now we're going to see the switch, though. Recry to the 76, realizing that, okay, we tried to go for the Mei, the shock and awe, get up in their face, throw a wall up, cut their team off, and try and just, you know, freeze them down. Now they're going to go for a little bit more standard. So Recry will probably end up dueling a little bit with Esker from the top of these ledges here for dominance.
Arhan trying to go for the flank here. Recry, as you say, trying to get up there with the duel for Esker. There is the damage, and it was a good start. Managed to get a headshot in there, I think. Managed to chip him down. There's the Hex Rockets coming through. Doesn't manage to connect. Immediately gets a deeper in his face to force him back. Taejung does manage to drop back down. Jaehyung also getting around the side, but this is starting to be a testy position for Lunatic High.
Yeah, eventually they're going to have to make a move to deal with AFLU. If they just wait for this to happen, it could get quite nasty, as they'll have the Pika's disadvantage. But now Arhan going into the back line here on this Reaper, always going to be an issue, but it's going to be a nano boosted Reinhardt coming through, and Miro deals with the edgelord. Yeah,
nano boost on nano boost there. Both tanks. Adam finally will go down, though. Miro getting the support and heals from Dean that he needed, and now Recry having to back away and maybe try and get the flank, maybe try and catch somebody off guard if they go a little too aggressive. Not going to work out. So 2 minutes 20 on the board. Afreeca Freecs' turn to try and break the stalemate that Lunatic High have managed to develop here. They're going to have themselves the Earth Shatter, are going to have probably the Self-Destruct and the whole Hog as well. Toby almost at the Graviton Surge, so a good ult bank about ready to go for Lunatic High.
Yeah, and AFLU's only pick mechanic is Arhan. Like, literally coming behind someone and popping them off with a couple shots on the Hellfire Shotguns. They don't have a Roadhog or anything to give them a 6v5 advantage now, but Esker's got a great little vantage point up there. Recry falls to him. It's a 1-for-1 trade in the fight, so 5v5, but look at this. Dean gets cut down by Arhan. He can drop in over the top in a second, but the Self-Destruct doesn't claim anything.
Yeah, it doesn't get a great deal, but he manages to get both supports down, and that's a big deal. It has been picked up by Toby. Esker is still up on this high vantage point, putting damage down, and that's a real problem for Afreeca Freecs, because now they get the support back. Recry is back. He's got Tac Visor ready to go, but look at this. Jaehyung straight in his face, shuts him down, delays as much as he can. In comes Toby, gets the kill on Recry, shuts down that Tactical Visor. It is a very close fight, remember. There's a long run from the spawn point compared to Afreeca Freecs, but it looks like they've held.
Yeah, Toby somehow gets the nano boost there. Interestingly enough, given that I think it was intended to go to Taejun, who actually had the whole hog going at the time, but it was perfect from Lunatic High. Nice stalled out. They still had Esker on the high ground, and what do you have as AF Blue to deal with Esker? Maybe Dayfly at long range to take him down, or Ahen now after the switch to get in his face, but it's not really a foolproof solution.
Well, Recry almost eating the rocket, but Esker's got himself that attack visor ready and waiting to go once again. And he was on the high ground last time, but Ahan this time making the switch over to Genji, looking for that flank and looking for Esker more importantly. He was the problem in that last fight. Goes in, doesn't manage to get the kill that he was after, doesn't get the damage down, but he's now looking for Dean. He spots Dean and around the side. Remember, he's the only healer in support, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his team have been picked apart. And now with 30 seconds to go, we could be seeing a flat haul from both sides.
I don't get AF's comp really at the moment. There's no pick aspect to it, like I said earlier on, and they were trying to use Ahan as Reaper. Now they have him on Genji, so it's like, we're going to run up and, you know, we're just going to try and match damage with our 76s and hope that Ahan gets a pick off. Well, he hasn't gotten one yet, and now Taejun on the Roadhog can cause a lot of problems for Ahan, make it impossible for him to actually get onto the squishy targets with that hook. So I don't really like AF Blue's comp here. We'll see if it works out now, but they have no ultimates to work with, and that's the Graviton.
There's the Graviton, there's the last-ditch attempt, the nano boost on Esker with the attack visor running. He's just going to run and gun, mow them down as they come around the side. You can see the last-ditch attempt from Amy to get on point, but it's not to be, and Lunatic High also will hold on Hollywood. And now, well, we have that awkward situation with Nepal, don't we? It's going to be that one-round decider. It's never pleasant.
Well, no, I mean, okay, so if you're AF Blue in this situation, right, you realize you're on the ropes, you're a map behind at your stage, and then you play, in my opinion, you know, in terms of the cerebral, the mental game, a little bit lazy on Hollywood.
Yeah.
Their comp, for me, seemed like it was, you know, crafted in a couple of different directions to do too many things. We didn't see a Roadhog at all. I really have to question that. They give themselves no ability to get picks, right? So they always push themselves into a slow roll 6v6, and that's okay with Mei because you can control and actually get advantages if you're freezing people and putting a wall up there. But they didn't have anything to give them any advantage before the fight started. So you're always rolling the dice, and then there's defender's advantage to deal with Esker on the high ground. So you are putting yourself willingly in low percentage situations where your team inherently has the advantage, and you're just hoping for it to work.
And every fight, it seemed like you had that duel between Recry and Esker. Esker had all the support in the world, Recry kind of had nothing, and it was just focus fired. Someone somewhere would pick him off or catch him down, whether it be Esker with rockets or simply run and gun,
right,
or a hook come through, as you mentioned, from Taejun, just off the side.
So obviously, we can see that, you know, AF Blue don't want to be playing quad tanks, right? But they're not playing Roadhog or they're not playing Devo. So they don't really have much to work on towards that high ground at all or deal with. Soldier 76, he's such a threat. You give him space. I've said it so many times, I sound like a broken record, but he needs to be addressed. And it's not sufficient to play a 76 into theirs and hope for the best.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Nepal, the tiebreaker. One round for Lunatic High will put them through to the finals, or will AF Blue take it to map number 5?
Again, one map is all they really have. That's the thing. So my issue with AF Blue being in that position, knowing that all they had to do was take first point. You could have gone for something crazy.
Yeah.
We're going to move on. We're going to get past it now. And of course, they put themselves in this situation where it is essentially do or die here.
Well, the moral bonus for Afreeca Freecs is the fact they won on this. They've won on a control point, so they have that in the back. They know. And actually, to be fair, they adjusted probably better than Lunatic High did on the control point.
I have to agree with you there. You're exactly right. Now, I don't want to see Farah here. I don't think Farah really is going to work that much on Village. I think Cheyenne, even then, is a bit meh. So, yeah, exactly. They're probably feeling okay and happy enough to accept that it gets forced to this situation. But, again, Lunatic High know how close they are to that grand final berth here. They know all they need to do is win this one round. And if they get a good fight to start it off, it could be theirs for the taking.
So let's see who will come out on top. It is going to be, well, I mean, you could call it the quad tank, because Mei can be counted as a tank or half a tank. 3.5 tank, I don't know what you want to call it. But either way, Afreeca Freecs, Ahan on the Genji. Let's see if he's going to get some of that big damage early on. The hook on Recry, that's not what you want to see. Taejun takes him down. Ahan does get a good dash in there, but unfortunately, the damage is already done. You can see Ahan, 11 hit points, not going to get away from that one. And that is the first battle.
My God.
Oh, Taejun, he is catching hook after hook after hook. And that's just about the worst start Afreeca Freecs could have hoped for.
Yep, don't you just love having an insta-kill on a 6-second cooldown, Lee? It's fantastic. Taejun gets 4 kills over the course of that fight there. I mean, losing Recry at the start, that's that's I guess it's inexcusable, really. We saw that AF Blue played really passively. They didn't move up right to the edge on the far left here on screen. They went from the low ground. And, well, yeah, it wasn't a great start. The wall was good from Esker, though. He isolated really nicely.
Well, Recre's made the adjustment. He's decided, you know what? I'm going to go hog. I'm going to make some hooks myself. Arhan around the side. Oh, he does pick Dean off. That's going to be the support going down. So he's managed to get some damage and also gets himself the Dragon Blade off. That's going to be Toby getting picked off around the side there. So it could work out in their favor. Afreeca Freecs picking up the kills. Amy getting a double kill off the back of Recry's kills and hooks. And that will be a straight-up switch to Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, that was massive. Arhan with the Dragon Blade. When in doubt, you can always trust on him to deliver. Recry, who was predominantly playing Roadhog, finally playing him now. Could have played him last map, but at least finally waking up to the truth that he could be of great use in this situation now. Jaehong, he's going to be back with his team in a second. He was stalled out slightly. Does have a self-destruct. There's an Earth Shatter on the way for Miro.
Yeah, good work from Recry. 70% charge straight away. The hook, just the side of Amy there, I think it was. Or maybe Daffy. I didn't quite catch the shadow if it was, but Arhan forced it back away. Miro has been picked off already now. Jaehong has himself the self-destruct. He's going to try and toss that one out there. Might catch him off guard. Adam gets the shield up just in time. And Jaehong manages to get himself back in suit, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his team have been dealt with. There was a nano boost, maybe overly used on Adam there, because it looked like they were simply down to cleanup duty, but the fight is not over yet.
No, that's right. And good work by AF Blue there. They were zoned off a little bit. We use zoning all jokingly sometimes, but that is what self-destruct can be. Obviously, they had to respect that. They backed away, but then they had Adam on the point at the same time. It was nano boosted now. So Mano has himself here a Graviton Surge. It could be big. He throws it in the corner now as well. The whole hole's going to force him away. Hard to get follow-up here, but a sound barrier now for both sides.
Yeah, it doesn't get a great deal of damage down, but it does force a couple of ults back. Blizzard comes down. You can see Toby getting on point, so he does zone them off the points at the moment. You can see it switching very quickly over to Lunatic High as it zones them out, and that will be Afreeca Freecs forced away.
And Miro with an Earth Shatter as well in the next fight. If he sets this one up, it's going to buy Lunatic High a nice little bank.
It nicely.
Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do. AF Blue need to wait for Amy, especially when that's their healing. In fact, that's the it's the entirety of it for the most part. So Lucio switched for Amy now as well. Dayfly back up, so both those supports coming a little bit later than the rest of the team. We'll delay it somewhat. 47 or 49 now to 66, and this is Cheeky taking the point. Now he's going to split Lunatic High up.
Yeah, they're just like, hang on a minute, there's somebody on the point. What is it? Oh, careful, Dean. Careful, Dean. There is a angry Genji. Arhan looking for you. And of course, you've always got to be careful of that sleep dart, which is why he went for the quick deflect. But Dayfly got picked off while that was happening. Recry goes down as well. And this is going to be another hold. Lunatic High picking up kill after kill. So finally, they take advantage once again. 70% and counting. And remember, Lunatic High win this map, they win the series, and they will be through to the grand finals.
Yeah, 77% now as well. And Arhan, his flanking attempt kind of worked against him. He got zoned out by Dean, and no one but Dean. That was the funny part. A lot of damage in towards him. But again, ready to put himself on the point. Dragon Blade's available. I don't usually get excited about that, but in Arhan's hands, he can change the game here.
He had it in the last fight, but he just obviously chose not to use it because there was no point. This time he's looking for it. He may actually go for Esker around the side. Now he's going to pull it out. There he goes. Goes down. Arhan gets himself the kill on Esker. Gets the reset. Finds himself another. Does get the kill down on Toby. Recry picking that one up, but this is looking good for Afreeca Freecs. They have to do it. It's in overtime, and it's looking like it may well just be flipping back in their favor. Recry gets himself a triple, and Tajan forced to back away. Overtime counts, but it's back in the hands of Afreeca Freecs.
70% now on the tick, and they are fighting tooth and claw to stay in it, but so far, not so bad for AF Blue. You can't make any more mistakes, though. Your margin of error is very slim. Tajan is purple. He gets the body grenade dropped on him. Esker at least gets the 1v1 trade there. He has a Blizzard ready to go. That could be devastating.
Yeah, Blizzard ready to go, and he's going to push straight in there. Do they realize it? They surely do. There's going to be Blizzard goes down. The rest of the team, he's caught in it. That's crucial. Mano and Adam both caught in the Blizzard. Arhan around the side gets himself some kills, but it doesn't matter when both of his tanks have been picked off. Jaehong gets himself a quick triple in there, throws out the self-destruct to zone them away. They cap in. Overtime is running, and it's just going to be all Arhan can do to keep them in the tournament. Not going to happen. Lunatic High will take it. They're through to the grand finals tomorrow in a solid style 3-1.
What a crazy fight to start things off there as well. Both teams lost their Roadhogs. It was a trade. We saw them getting hooked in, but then Esker bounded forward. He's like, I know they don't have a Roadhog. I know I can walk at them, and I can just drop a Blizzard right on the feet of Adam on that Reinhardt. They couldn't escape from it. All their important tanks were caught in that Blizzard, and from there, there was a zoning ultimate towards the end by Tajan to secure it. Great little turnaround from Lunatic High. It's a shame we don't get to see a fifth map here, though. What a matchup.
Yeah, Lee Jung would have been the last one as well. I think that would have been very close. We saw it on Ilios. He went to 99% both sides a number of times. But what a cracking semi-final there. Lunatic High will come out on top, though, as they did against Misfits in the quarterfinals. The question is, who will they be facing? LW Red versus Rogue will be following this matchup.
And that one is definitely one to behold as well. The last European hope remaining in this tournament. To be fair, there were only 2. But again, both of these teams are looking exceedingly good. AF Blue, though, bowing out at a point. This is the first time they've ever played, right? So the first recorded result between these 2 teams who've been having the same region for so long, who've watched each other play and sort of grown alongside each other, parallel perhaps. But it is going to be Lunatic High who comes out on top. Look, it's one thing to be flexible, right? That's why AF Blue made these changes, Lee. But you know, Skipjack from Misfits said, at DreamHack, we just wanted to sort out one comp that worked for us because we were short on time, and they won the whole event. Sometimes it's not about having 7 team comps, just about having one team comp that really, really works for you.
And you got to give, credit to Lunatic High. This is a team that's stuck together for 4 years, probably under a lot of pressure to make changes in that team, that roster, after the disappointing quarterfinal exit in the Apex tournament. Of course, they're going to be moving into Season 2 very soon, but a lot of pressure was on them, and now they find themselves in the final once again, as they were, of course, at APAC. The question is, can they go that one step further? And more importantly, will they face Rogue?
That's it. I mean, the rematch we've been waiting for. Not quite the same, of course, as it was. Rogue, look, a little bit different, I guess, to the way they did.
A little more French.
Lacking the Swedish aspect to them as well. But obviously that was a game that really defined, in my opinion, the way that the global meta was shaped and how our regions interacted. So that'll be a great final to see here. Rogue so far on land and utterly untested. We don't know what to expect from them. And Luxury Watch Red have looked good, but like I said earlier, have not been without their flaws.
Well, of course, what a cracking matchup that is going to be to follow this one. Jason and Achilles will be bringing you that in just a few moments. But of course, Lunatic High, 3-1, solid victory for them over Afreeca Freecs. We'll be back in just a few moments.